Hi there, good evening everybody. Thank you for tuning in to ANF Plus, Atlanta News First Plus. Here we are providing you a check of the forecast. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. Another really cold day across metro Atlanta and North Georgia, but not as cold as it has been. We finally warmed above the freezing mark in metro Atlanta. In fact, many communities across North Georgia, a few on the far north side up into the mountains of North Georgia, Blairsville, Clayton, Ivy Log, Helen, up into Clayton County, North Carolina. Highest elevation struggling to get above the freezing mark today, but the vast majority of North Georgia, all of metro Atlanta peaking today in the mid, some cases upper 30s. So a cold day, but considering what we just came out of, far warmer than it has been. Again, it's kind of a crazy thing. On any other given winter day, we'd consider today a very cold day, but it has been much colder, so everything is relative. Finally above freezing, albeit briefly, and that's when a lot of folks started noticing that they had broken pipes after the many hours below freezing. They may have noticed lower water pressure, and then it warmed up, those pipes thawed, and we had burst water pipes, sending water into apartments, condos, townhomes, homes, businesses, even some City of Atlanta buildings, municipal courthouses, and not just in Atlanta, but many municipalities across North Georgia, all thanks to our holiday freeze, which we are just now starting to come out of here. And we're going to be dealing with more cold weather tonight. We are already back below freezing, another hard freeze tonight, another several hours below that 32-degree mark. So the risk of pipes freezing is still there. And if your pipes did burst and you were unable to fix them today, hopefully you're able to turn off your water, because we're going to be dealing with an icy mess. Remember, it's not just the indoor pipes. You would have surely noticed those, but maybe the pool equipment, maybe the outbuildings, maybe the sprinkler systems could be leaking. And if they burst, you haven't noticed it yet, you could wake up to an icy mess in your yard, adjacent to your pool, on your property, anywhere out the door tomorrow morning, because temperatures are already below freezing. In fact, we're down to 22 in Blairsville, 26 in Canton, 28 in Gainesville, 29 Atlanta. Far west and southwest side, look at LaGrange, down to 26 already, 27 in Carrollton, 30 Locust Grove, 28 Covington, 29 in Athens, and Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport already back in the upper 20s and only getting colder from here. So a heads up. It is already cold and only getting colder. The hour-by-hour forecast has us back in the upper teens to lower 20s out the door tomorrow morning. So heavy winter coats, all the layers, once again necessary tomorrow. But overall, considering what it was on Friday, the 23rd, yesterday, the 24th, upper teens, lower 20s with a light wind. Is it going to be the coldest of this entire stretch? No. In fact, we've seen the wind chill advisories, wind chill warnings be allowed to, let expire. So, in general, improvement, nonetheless, still bitterly cold, hard freeze, and certainly cold enough for some pipe issues to continue overnight tonight into your Monday morning. That light breeze may knock a few degrees off of the actual temperature, and that is what it will feel like out the door. Certainly, you will want all the layers on your Monday morning. Here's a look beyond metro Atlanta. We'll start, though, closer into town. Inside the perimeter, upper teens, mid to upper teens, Palmetto, Douglasville, Smyrna, northwest side, Marietta, Kennesaw, Marietta Diner, one of the places that suffered some pipe damage and flooding and interior water damage due to burst pipes today. We reported that earlier this morning, AtlantaNewsFirst.com and in the Atlanta News First app. 17, Sugar Hill and in Beaufort, Lawrenceville 17, 19, Forest Park, downtown, midtown, Buckhead, portion of Atlanta. Many neighborhoods in the inside the perimeter, inside I-285, just shy of 20, 16 in McDonough, frigid out the door tomorrow morning. Avita on Atlanta News First, the YouTube account. Watching from Denver, glad you're getting a nice check of the Atlanta forecast. If you're traveling here soon, good news, warmer weather is on the way, but not the case tomorrow morning. 19 Atlanta, but 15 Canton, 9 degrees. We're going to make a run for upper single digits again up in the mountains of North Georgia. That includes Fannin County, Gilmer County, Clayton County, White County, Lumpkin County area, northern portions of Hall County possibly, and on up towards Toccoa and Toccoa Falls, higher elevations. That's where it's going to be in the low to mid-teens, couple spots back down in the single digits. And one change tomorrow that I think you are very likely to notice, we've had a brilliant amount of sunshine yesterday and today. Tomorrow, much cloudier. In fact, partly to mostly cloudy with high temperatures. We'll go back to that graphic. Back in the upper 30s to near 40 tomorrow. So a warmer day than today, but still cold. 41 Atlanta, Gainesville 40, Athens 41, Rome 39, 40 in Noonan. I think the far north side, the Canton area over into Rome and Chattooga counties on up into the Gainesville area, along and north of that point, upper 30s to right at 40, mountains mid to upper 30s. And we'll have a lot of clouds start to roll in the morning, bring you to the hour-by-hour forecast. Temperatures tumble tonight. We'll pause it tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Low to mid-teens for our northern areas, mid to upper teens metro, upper teens to near 20 south side. And notice that sharp line of cloud cover kind of along the I-85 corridor by 7 a.m. South and east of that line, full sun. North and west of that LaGrange to Atlanta to Gainesville line at 7 a.m. This forecast model has a lot of clouds moving in, almost overcast conditions as we go through the morning. So definitely a cloudier day in the forecast. And look at what moves in as we go through the day. Here we are mid-morning, should say. So yeah, mid-a.m. Dalton, Rome, Blairsville, Clayton, some flurries moving in from the north. Could be some sleet pellets in here as well. This is mainly North Alabama, eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina up in the mountains, and extreme North Georgia. So Rome, Canton, Gainesville, points north. Could be a few sleet pellets, a few sprinkles, a few snow flurries with temperatures peaking in the mid-30s or so. A couple spots could be closer to freezing, but no accumulation in the forecast. And it is possible some of this moisture could get into metro Atlanta as we move into and through the late afternoon and the evening hours. Pausing this at midnight Tuesday morning. Mid to upper 20s North Georgia, upper 20s lower 30s metro Atlanta and points south, with maybe a few sleet pellets, a few snow flurries, a few sprinkles before temperatures dip back below freezing. But what I will say is that while the air is still pretty chilly, it is very dry. The chapped lips, the dry skin, it's a real issue the past couple of days. And it's no coincidence, the air is very dry. So even though we have a lot of clouds, and we may have a lot of moisture up in those clouds, what tries to fall from them, whether it be snow flurries or sleet pellets or liquid, just plain old sprinkles, it will tend to evaporate before it hits the ground. Now, with that being said, it is possible some of this could still reach the ground. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Either way, not forecasting any big accumulations tomorrow. Just don't be too surprised if you see some flurries float through the air, maybe feel some sleet pellets or hear some sleet pellets, a little click-clack on the windshield driving around tomorrow afternoon and evening running errands, or you may notice a little bit of a spritz. Cold raindrops possible as we get into tomorrow afternoon and evening. This could get all the way down into metro Atlanta I-20, but more so by tomorrow evening after sunset. No accumulation in this is in the forecast, but something we'll be watching for you here over the next 24 hours or so. And then it's all about the warm-up. Now that we've talked about the cold air, let's get to the good news, at least for most folks. Cold tomorrow with that chance of sprinkles, flurries, sleet pellets. Coldest in the morning, of course. Another freeze on our Tuesday morning, but more of us seeing a light freeze versus a hard freeze. So the issue with pipes, the risk to pipes, will kind of wrap up as we get into tomorrow afternoon. And yes, another freeze Monday night, Tuesday morning, but not the duration and as hard of a freeze that would be required to keep, the risk of pipes bursting, elevated. So that's some good news. Gradual process getting out of this cold blast. And then as we get into Wednesday morning, back in the upper 20s and lower 30s, high temperatures in the 50s Wednesday afternoon, and then we're back in the lower 60s Thursday, low to mid 60s Friday. And then Saturday, New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, next storm system moves in, much, much, much warmer. No risk of wintry weather. Nonetheless, rain back in the forecast. Could be some heavy rain. Could also be some thunderstorms embedded within that. So that is the next time period to watch, so to speak. We'll be watching that pretty closely. Some folks chatting in on Facebook as well. Michael Baxter, good evening to you. Lonnie Hopkins, Merry Christmas. Watching from Conyers. Cold on the southeast side. Hopefully you're staying warm. Mike Everett, good evening to you. Watching from Bethlehem and Malika Bia. Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful Sunday, wonderful Christmas weekend, holiday weekend. And again, it has been kind of a messy day around the area. We unfortunately had a lot of pipe issues. In fact, we can bring you to Atlanta News First, the First Alert forecast page. And so many people had burst pipes, weren't sure what to do. They were overloading 911 systems across the area. Many counties, many areas and municipalities reported this, including DeKalb County E911. We also had further in East Georgia, closer to Athens, some issues with this. Officials in Athens, Clark County also advising residents to refrain from calling 911 for service requests regarding burst pipes. Here's a video some of the burst pipes. This was sent in to Atlanta News First. We have it on all of our social media accounts. This was actually a property, a condo and apartment building in Buckhead, not just a leak. That is water gushing out of a broken pipe, probably causing thousands and thousands of dollars worth of property damage. Not something you want to deal with any day, let alone Christmas Day. Some folks commenting in on Atlanta News First on YouTube. Happy holidays, everybody. Stay warm. Wishing you the same. Thanks for commenting in. And again, this is the issue. This is what we're watching, the risk of pipes bursting and continued cold weather into tomorrow morning. After tomorrow morning, though, while another freeze is forecast Monday night to Tuesday morning, it is not looking as long of a duration, and it's not looking as cold, not nearly as cold. So the risk to further pipe damage, it does really begin to decrease tomorrow afternoon, but I think some pipes have yet to thaw. Some pipes have yet to noticeably burst. So I do think there is a chance tomorrow afternoon, with temperatures peaking in the upper 30s to near 40, you're going to see some more gushing of pipes, probably more damage reported, and it could get even messier again. At this point, we're looking at many insurance claims coming this week, and we're going to have more coming up at AtlantaNewsFirst.com, right here on Atlanta News First streaming platforms as well. The proper steps to follow in this week between Christmas and New Year's to make sure that your claims are processed correctly and that you get the coverage that you need to get back on your feet following all of these busted pipes. Again, cold weather is waning. That is the big story here. But tomorrow, despite it being a little warmer, more clouds in the first alert forecast, and we could have some sprinkles, maybe some snow flurries in the forecast on our Monday. Nothing accumulates, but you may notice it. You may see the flurries flying, hear the sleet pellets, feel the raindrops. Just a couple of those, not a big rain or snow or sleet or anything like that, but a few sleet pellets, snow flurries, raindrops. It's maybe going to be noticeable, especially on the north side on up into the mountains of North Georgia tomorrow afternoon, and then closer to I-20 in the evening and in the early overnight hours, something we'll be watching here pretty closely for the next 24 hours or so. So just wanted to check in, give you the latest, again, a full recap of all we have been dealing with, pipes and more than that, all the things that have been going on today, as well as the latest check of your forecast coming up this evening on Atlanta News First at 11 p.m. You can stream that newscast anywhere you are streaming this. ANF Plus Chat, we'll call it, and you can also watch it at AtlantaNewsFirst.com and in the Atlanta News First app and in the First Alert Weather app. Again, a lot of resources for you. So if you are still up late watching maybe holiday Christmas movies on this Christmas night, we'd appreciate the honor of giving you the latest information this evening coming up here in just a little bit. We'll leave you with the live look outside Midtown Atlanta. It is mostly clear, but oh so cold, back in the upper 20s. Reminder, current conditions and that hour-by-hour forecast also always available in the First Alert Weather app. Have a wonderful evening. Stay warm. Complete update coming up at 11 p.m.